This is Hina and I'm a solution therapist. Today I'll be speaking about the symptoms and the reasons for the topic, the problem. I hope by now you must have listened to the first part wherein we discussed what this word actually means and what are the perceptions about this word, whether it's positive or negative, and also the parameters and how it's going to be disrupting our own life. So this word, the problem, is very valuable because it's so overloaded and overly used by each and every one of us. Today the symptoms is like, we are human being and we are very flexible. We are not like a robot wherein, one thing is there and therefore it's going to solve a particular type of situation only. Since because of our plastic mind and the plasticity and the flexibility and there are no boundaries in the brain, we experience the symptoms which can be diagnosed for various other things. Like if you have fever, now the symptoms are very different for each type of let's say ailment. Therefore we say that okay, this particular symptom is there, the fever is there, it's accompanied with shivering also, therefore it's indicating the reason could be something else. Likewise in life, when we are facing any problem, we have particular symptoms, you feel it inside, you experience it internally, and therefore you react and respond externally. That is very separate and different for each one of us. For example, if you have some very difficult time, so some people you find that they become very loud. Some people just internalize and they become quiet. For some it's like they go for window shopping, or some it's doctor shopping. So everyone has their own way and outlet to deal a particular situation. But before I go ahead with the other two main things that I want to share with you all, there are three feelings or emotions that everyone experiences and they are dormant in us. It's like the worry, the anxiety and the stress. These three things are there and they come along with their own baggage of symptoms and the reasons. I've already spoken about them, so please go and listen to the video if it really means something to you. And you will find that they all are overlapping. You cannot just segregate one emotion or feeling and say this is only for this particular type of trigger. It does not work like that. Everything is so mixed and entangled beautifully, I would say. That is why we experience life in totality. It has its own ups and downs. You need to remember the example I gave you, the field, the roses, the thorns over there. So these two criteria has to be retained in your mind whenever you are facing any difficult situation. You will be pricked by the thorns, absolutely for sure. But it's, if that is a tough moment, you are tougher because you will pluck it off. You will find the action that you need to do. Action is the only thing that will help you to gain the momentum, move ahead in life. You cannot just stagnate by getting affected or exposing yourself to a particular situation. Because yesterday, as the parameters I talk about, problem can be anything in life. As simple as like if you are speaking a lot, it can cause a problem for somebody. If you're not speaking, that also is a problem. So both ways, it's like the problem can be just categorized for you. You will not know what boundary it is there that, okay, this is it, then there is no problem whether I speak this much or that much. That is not the case. Again, the flexibility and having no boundaries, that itself shows that the emotions will overlap. So worry, anxiety, and the third thing is stress. The symptoms for these three emotions or feelings that you experience will also be available for you when you are facing the problem. So for example, You have a very tough situation. For youth, it's like you have an exam coming up, or it's like some issue that you are facing. Issue could be financial issue, relationship issue, then it could be any health related issue. Anything you come up, and that comes along with some expectation from you. You know that you have to face that. Internally, you are feeling that pressure, and that is the symptoms that you will come up with. You become nervous. You start forgetting because you are losing the momentum over there. You are just stagnating at that point of time. The reference point you are bringing from your memory. In fact, you should be like, okay, this is the symptom. You already know the trigger part. The exams are there, or the submission is there. The symptoms can come up because of the worry part that you had experienced before. I feel this way. I feel exhausted. I don't feel myself right now. I don't want to do anything. There is a pressure. There is a fear. That is the second thing that I want to bring up. First is mood swings because of the health reason also. I'm not talking about the clinical mood swings like bipolar or something, but then here it is because of your own doing. You are not focusing on your own self. You're not being observant and vigilant. You're just ignoring few things in life that keeps on coming up in your own day-to-day routine life, and you just overcome it somehow, but you're not addressing the reason part, because the symptoms is showing to you, it's telling you, it's giving you an indication that please do take care of me. And you need to then bombard as to what is the symptom telling you, what could be the reason. You need to backtrace it. Like in health, if you have a back pain, you will not say it's just because of my bad posture. It could be because of the deficiency. It could be because you're not eating well and therefore the deficiency is there. Why you're not eating? It could be availability is not there, or there is some major calamity that has happened. There is some loss in your family. It could also be that you are angry about something, and therefore all that thing then, comes down to your back pain. There could be a financial pressure. Anything can happen. You need to trace it back to the source to find out what is the main reason as to you are feeling this way. The symptoms that you are feeling internally or externally. You're sweating too much. There is this shivering. You are not able to focus. You are stammering. You are, you feel like as if you are fainting. So everything your body is telling you is a form of a symptom that something is going on. When we are talking about fear, it could be that you feel it inside, and mainly because there is some nagging issue inside. You are battling, or let's say you are coping, or you're trying to make some sense out of something that is there in your mind. Okay, mind and brain is separate. You need to read the post I have posted recently. And because of that nagging thought process, you are overthinking. The fear of, again, as somebody asked yesterday, the rejection is one of them. There is something nagging in your mind. The second is like fear of performance, fear of failure, fear of acceptance. Then it's like you are fearful that something is going to happen. That uncertainty part. You are not able to make decisions. So you fail to make the decision part. Fear of not completing your work. So there could be so many reasons why you're feeling that fear part. And the symptom that you can be, it's some nagging trouble. You are not living in the moment. You're losing out on conversation. You are slipping out on data that you are exchanging with somebody in your workplace. Your work is getting affected. So your boss or somebody will say, what's happened to you? You look pale. So that is a symptom. You need to work backwards and try to trace out the reasons. Now the reasons that I can come up, I've written some of them. And first is multitasking. It's like you are either physically multitasking a lot of things, emotionally you are multitasking, navigating here and there, and then mentally you are again multitasking a lot of activities. So you need to be very clear. Multitasking is not a very good thing in the long run. It's not a healthy thing that you need to do. You need to manage. If you are not able to keep up with the multitasking activities you are engaged in, it will deplete your own resources of health. Health is very important. Coming to focus, again, please do go. Let's listen to the video I have shared, the symptoms and the reasons for the focus. You will find all the available information. Procrastination, I have posted a video on procrastination. Now how beautifully this is engaged, and this is the starting point of almost everything in my understanding. Procrastination is different from being lazy. Lazy is like level 1, but we don't accept simple thing. It's like we want to upgrade it, and therefore it's like procrastination. On a pendulum, you have the perfectionist and the lazy, super lazy person, both the extreme end. Okay, now over here, when you see the lazy person, they hardly invest the time. They know they can do it, they have the ability, they have the capability. They actually end up also doing it sometimes, but then they do keep on slipping on and off. They take it for granted, their own abilities. Time is what they compromise on, and therefore the procrastination is setting in. Here it is perfectionist. They get so hyper focused and they invest in one activity so much that they miss out on other activities, and therefore it is they also lose on time. They may do certain things like very nicely, but then that is not enough. They need to complete something or the other that they are given into, because imperfectionist, like those who are perfectionist, they feel tensed. Okay, and here it is, the lazy people, they're so relaxed, eventually they start worrying. In both the cases, the 3 freebies that we have in dormant state, the anxiety part, the stress part, and the worry part, they come into the active mode. They say, oh, you cannot be only tensed. How is it possible? You need to step up. You need to feel advanced level of tension that you are facing. You need to feel, like a panic thing. Or it's like you need to feel a lot of anxiety should be there, so that you are not able to do anything. You self-doubt yourself. And just to prove something, the fear sets in, and then the failure of performance sets in. That's how it's interconnected. Over here, you are lazy, you're so relaxed. Again, the worry will step in. It's hyper focused for you in relaxation mode, and therefore slowly it will step up into procrastination. The moment it comes to that advanced level, things escalate towards the downhill. You will feel worried, you will feel anxious, you will feel that you're not competent enough, and then your self-worth will get diluted and compromised. So be careful about the simple signals your body sends to you before the issue, the small things become a big problem. You need to nip it at the bud. You don't need to let it, nurture it unnecessarily when it's not helpful, because it's going to cause you some hurt, some pain, some discomfort. You will not understand things, why it is happening, and the reason is you let it happen. So be very, very careful. The positive side of it is like when you are walking in that field and you get pricked up, that prick is happening, you're facing some situation, very tough situation. Again, either the reasons could be anything, but you start understanding from your own experience, or you become smart, setting up your own goals, learning from others' experience. So it's like you have that awareness within you. You know the reasons, you know the symptoms, you know how to connect the dots to its sources. That is very important and valuable thing for you yourself and for your own survival and being, contented with your life. The moment you become contented, you start enjoying things in life, even the tough situation, because you know how to cruise or maneuver it. The next is ignoring the self, and that is so very important. You must have listened or heard so much about it that you are important. Fair enough. How important are you for your own self so that you matter in your life and others? That should be a question for you. You need good friends. How good are you for others? You need to be trusted. Are you trusting others also likewise? You need to make good decisions. Have you even tried to make good decisions in your life? What if it fails also? That's okay. You take the onus, the responsibility part for your own self. Problems will come with its own baggage. So the symptoms is the baggage. Tomorrow I'll be talking about the solutions. Now remember the field, the roses, the thorns, and a backpack or a bag. If you have seen the tea pickers, they carry a bag behind their back, and almost 8 kgs of leaves they can carry. So that is the weight they can carry. Now it is tomorrow when you're talking about solutions. Let's see what we put in that bag. For now, reflect on your own problem. Reflect on the symptoms your body is telling you. Are you getting defocused? Are you getting upset? Irritation is also one of the very good signal to you. Your body is sending that, hey, look, I am not very comfortable with the way you are dealing a particular thing. You get irritating, you snap off easily. Taking care of your health. Are you ignoring your diet? Are you ignoring your own way of responding, or your work, personal issues? Everything is so overlapping that you cannot just say that, okay, this is my problem that I'm facing. Fair enough, you can name a problem. That could be the starting point. Write the problem over there. Below that, write, what are you facing? What is happening? What are the hindrances? What are the glitches? What are the hurdles? What is the difficulty that you are facing? What is so much of a complication? Or are you in a dilemma? What is it? You need to sit down and write to identify the reasons for it. First, you need to come up with the symptoms. That is how you're going to identify and work on the reasons, because then only the back trace is going to happen and you will lead to the resources. Remember, a temperature, a high temperature, that is only a symptom. Along with it, if you're having cough and cold, added on symptoms, the doctor gives you a medication. They give you some tests to be done. Then they find out, okay, this is the reason. So you need to work on your symptoms first, then the reasons, how you're going to back trace it. See what you can do, what you have done, how you can improvise on it. So tomorrow, with the solutions, I will be coming. Remember the 3 things I have said. The field, and you're walking on that field. Imagine, just close your eyes and imagine nice cool weather. There are rose petals over there. Along with it are the thorns. Those are the difficult or tough situations you're going to face, and you will be facing it. One problem will get solved, there will be something else. Like you're dealing with a child, the child needs questions. You may consider it as a problem. Why are you asking all the time the questions? The child does not get pacified with one answer. You need to explain it again in some other way. Likewise, once that thing is resolved, the child understood, they go back playing. Again, they come up with something else. In life, we grow up, we get matured. We need to ask ourselves the questions. We are facing situations, and they could be minor or major. They could be really very serious and heartbreaking at times. But don't lose on the fact of, focus part. and the stagnation. Don't ignore it. You need to have yourself in momentum. That is why action is very, very important. So the feelings and the emotions, they change drastically and dramatically. So welcome to the drama of life. Take care. See you tomorrow. Till then, note your problems. Bye.